Good morning, everyone. I hope you got a good wake-up call, because we didn't. First thing is the clicker is not working, so Danny is going to have to sync with me somehow to try and go through the slides as smoothly as possible, so bear with us. Thank you for coming. I think it's a very big honor for us to be here, to be the first one to present. And yeah, so we're going to discuss about dissecting non-malicious artifacts. As a malware researcher, I guess that many of the things you bump into are files which has no detection. And somewhere down that road, we found some interesting artifacts that we thought that we should not ignore from, while I think that other, I'd say vendors, did want us to ignore that. So I think yesterday we kind of changed all our slides, I think one by one, which was kind of weird, but you know, that's how the industry works. So you'll have to bear with us and try to read between the lines. We tried to make it as clear as possible. So before we go through the research, we're going to have some whois about us. So as I said, my name is Ido, or as the speaker liaison said, and this is Danny. If you don't know, we are the founders of VirusBay. VirusBay is some kind of a social platform. It started as a social platform for malware researchers. Mainly the idea behind it is trying to get, instead of researchers looking for a needle in a haystack like we are used to in sandboxes and multi-scanners, we have a platform that you can search for needle in a needle. So that's the main idea, having a lot of researchers, getting their research, their samples, their classification for each sample, and get a lot of information from it to actually help us. I'm a researcher in a company called Kaspersky Lab, within a team called The Great, the Global Research and Analysis Team. That's a group of around 45 researchers based all over the world, researching mainly APT attacks. If you want to ask me questions regarding our team later, feel free. Danny, I'll do the introduction. He's the owner of a company called Andot. That's a financial boutique company for software programming, based in Israel and now in the US, when Danny relocated. I'm an alumni of a college called the College of Management, and also a lecturer back in 2013. Danny is a student at Berkeley at the moment for data science. I'm the father of 3 little girls, 1 year, 4 year, and 7. Very proud of them. I know some of you, I see smiles, like that means did you have kids as well? I think that's the main reason of my life at the moment. And Danny also has a main reason in his life. It's quite not the same, but make no mistakes, it's for research purposes. If I haven't mentioned, Danny is 23 and I'm 33. I don't think that says anything about who is smarter. That just said that he's younger and he have more fun in his life. I'm doing laundry and he is doing vodka, so that's great. That's great. Like especially during Zoom hours, you know, when I'm like, listen, I need to switch the P because I think one of my daughters is just, and he's like, yeah, let me get a shot of vodka. And the woman behind me, let me get her dressed so he can walk out. No, I'm just exaggerating. So the research motive, what did we saw? Basically, we were looking into malware. We were looking for interesting research that we can conduct together. And we suddenly noticed that some of the files, mainly emails, have interesting headers. Have you noticed anything? Anyone noticed that there are some interesting headers on emails that you have researched looking for attack vectors? Hands. That means that you need to raise your hands. Good morning. Hands, please. Yes, yes. I've seen them. You've seen them for sure. Malware researchers in the crowd, in the audience. Malware researchers, penetration testers, GDPR guys, people from the vendors who forbid us from these slides. No? Good. Good. I have my eyes on you. We reducted everything, I swear. So we noticed a couple of interesting headers. Some of them is the spam filters, but we have a lot of others that we found that actually bear the names of the vendors that decided that these files are either phishing or were detected as phishing. Some of them were not detected, so that's even more interesting. Like, if it's not detected, so what is it doing online? And what we're looking over here, it's not like one sample, two samples. We found thousands with these emails. We'll show you later how we crafted something that can actually show us exactly how many and how the symptom, how the manual search became a symptom. So the concept is that employees leak information all the time, right? You, me, us, all of us, we're not the employees our employer expected, right? We're humans at the end of the day. But some of the other things in the network, aside from the human factor, also leaks information. That's how we think things are. We have other things like the vendors who don't give a can't say about our data. And we also have hackers, which tries to take this information and make financial motivation out of it in most cases. But we're going to ignore it. We're going to focus on the employee side and on the security products, mainly on security products. So at first, we actually thought that security products are supposed to be very professional. They should be responsible at most cases. And I think when you create this type of security product or solution, you should be, I don't know if the right word is educated, but you should be very strict or very careful with the type of code that you insert in, because at the end of the day, it's going to be deployed in your client's network. And it's probably going to capture some interesting data. So, talking a little bit about the scope, we were focusing on zero detection. I think the zero detection for malware researcher is the most interesting area. I guess some of you have already uploaded samples in the past, and somehow it either bypassed the sandbox or did not detect. The sandbox or the multi-scanner did not have the right plugins in place or the right mechanism in place to detect the sample. And then, for me at least, your eyes is like, oh, okay, so what the hell is going on? Like, I know what this sample is. And looking specifically for attack vectors and the attachment samples, we've seen these zero detections, and it made us curious what's inside. Is it like a new exploit, new zero-day, or is it not? So it could be two things. Like, it could be unknown, but it could be garbage. Makes you curious, because someone's garbage is actually someone else's gold. So we kind of inspected that part. So about the goal, we had our starting points and building blocks that me and Danny agreed upon. The starting points we wanted to inspect was the paid and non-paid services, some repositories that we found, and other areas, other platforms, all of them online. And the idea behind it was our, I'd say, expertise in malware research, find the samples, understand how to craft the research around it. Some Yara rules that we can actually take all these samples into one collection and get the needles out of the haystack, basically. And data science, which I have no idea about. But Danny here is supposed to be the master, so he will show you some black magic as we go. The idea, basically, is to prove that data is being unwillingly exfiltrated. And for us, not for us, because I'm not pitching for any new startup, It's for us to educate, for us to inspect, for us to go back home to our network, to our organization and its network and try to find out what the hell are these security products are doing. We know they have some stuff, but we want to inspect them more carefully. So a proof of concept, this is really, it was really like a very simple query. What you can see here is basically a PDF format, which was attached to one of the zero detection emails. And it says, well, it's not fake. It's not like phishing. It's, for sure, it was verified. This is personal and confidential employment agreement with a signature of somebody who's really known. And if you go over LinkedIn with the name, you will see that it's a very big company and a very known person that signed that paper from May 12, 2018. So how did he get there? What is it doing there? Could be an employee made a mistake. Based on the headers, we know it wasn't. So we know we have a lot of these headers coming from the same vendors. Could be from a third party. Who knows? We are not here to point fingers. We're not here to attribute anything. We're just here to raise awareness. So as I said, this is the intellectual property. The subject that we had at first was the emails, but basically, if you go around, you can find a lot of stuff. Some examples, code of, intellectual property type code, dumps, archives, you can click through it. Certificate, keys, secrets, graphs, you name it, you'll find it. I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm seeing a lot of faces from the crowd that it's not something new to them, that data is being somehow exfiltrated. And I'm saying exfiltrated and not leaked because when it's on purpose, it's exfiltrated. So where did we look for information? Possible feeds that you can take yourself. You can see the list over here. These are the places where security products, without mentioning names, will probably look for information. And the reason they will look, they won't look for information, they will actually try to enhance their detection. That's the reason why. So if you use these online services, either for detection purposes or other purposes, we haven't really dived into that rabbit hole. These are the main places where you want to find. So we crafted a number of Yara rules, just like simple ones. The idea here is to filter emails, as you can see, which is kind of easy. For Outlook, you have the bytecodes at the beginning, and then you can filter out. So you can download a lot of samples, and then you can filter out the ones who are actually emails with the from and to. Make sure you also mention the size, because you want to find samples that either has attachments or either has a lot of content to them, and skip all the phishing stuff. Building a collection. So we're starting to get into the data science idea, or maybe into the pipeline that we created. Yeah, it's nothing? Oh, it is. All right. No, it's not. Great. So first of all, what we do, we search the feeds, as I showed you earlier, like the areas where you can search. We take these feeds, we list the hashes from the emails, what we think is emails, and then we download them, get the Yara rules to filter them out, try to understand that this is really what we are looking for. We didn't get into like a very long Yara rules because this was just an example. And sending the matches to the pipeline. What is the pipeline? We'll see in just a bit. Oh, we'll switch.
Yep. Hi, everyone. So I'm Danny. I'll show you around about our general architecture and the pipeline to analyze all the data that we use.
All of it?
Yep.
All right.
So we're basically starting from the feeds. We use the Lambda function from AWS to pull the feeds a couple of times a day. Small analysis framework, we put everything into a queue, download the samples, store them, filtered out everything with the Yara, threw away the samples that weren't emails or anything interesting for us. We used Spark on AWS EMR to process all the data, and then it went to the pipeline that we're going to show you right now.
Want me to click through it?
Yeah, just skip through it. So we made a custom parser for the emails, taking out the subject, the body, the text languages, taking out the main names to find out which companies are involved in the emails. We take out the attachments and they go into a different queue, which was the attachment queue.
Yeah, sir.
Oh, spam filter. So we made a small spam filter to see that we don't get a lot of phishing emails or a lot of spam emails. You can see our #1 feature on the spam filter, works great. So everything that was an attachment went to a different queue. We used Apache Tika, which is a great tool for extracting data from any type of file format. After doing the extraction, we start with the pipeline, which used a couple of open source libraries. So we started pre-processing, stemming the data, taking out stop words, common English words that were not used for taking out information. You can see we used sklearn, Spacey, and Gensim. So after that, we did two things. We did topic modeling to get a few topics from the email to get a sense of what it's about, if there's anything special going on inside. And we did name entity recognition to get names of people, names of organizations, monetary values, roles of people, and locations. And after that, we made some kind of scoring to see how threatful or how confidential the email is. And everything we go to Elasticsearch with a Kibana front end. And that way we can just have a sense of what's going on. Because, you know, when we found one email, it was easy to look at and see what's going on. But if you're an attacker, you're not going to go through thousands and tens of thousands of emails a day. You're going to want to process it. So we made a proof of concept how easy it is to actually do this. All right, demo time. So can we see my other screen?
Can we get the screen, the original screen?
All right. So just a disclaimer, there is a lot of noise added. We put a bunch of noise and redacted a lot of things because vendors and basically told us to do so.
You wanna enlarge it? Can you enlarge?
It's small. Yeah.
Hit plus. Great.
Yeah, or better.
Better?
Right. Yeah, so quickly we'll go through header analysis, just looking at the headers to see which products were leaking. In order not to show the headers, you can see it's all ones and zeros. Every email basically has a sparse array of one is if it has a header name inside. I'll quickly go through it because we have 2 minutes left. But this is a scatter plot after embedding and clustering all the emails, and you can see there's about 4 products that are leaking, and they're pretty closely together with the colors. Yeah, topic modeling. Let's go through this pretty fast. We did LDA, which is a latent data allocation, and non-negative metrics factorization. LDA is pretty slow, so we're not going to show it. We'll quickly show you the topics that come out of NMF. So we did add a bunch of noise, so you don't see anything confidential, but you can see like order, different topics about payments, invoices, fatal downloads. There's a bunch of topics. And lastly, we will show you a fake email that we crafted, how we extract entities from it. This will take 1 minute, but basically you will see that you get the names of the people in the conversation. There we go. So, hi, Danny, that's a person. Israel is a country, 23 million monetary value. 2 organizations, another 2 locations. And
F-35.
F-35, which is a work of art. Yeah. They have the Israeli Air Force, which is apparently an organization. But
no one listens to Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, so... yeah, sorry for going that quickly through the demo. We're done with it, and now it's time for Q&A.
Let's go back to the slides.
Yeah.
Oh, we have the sound bites. Or I want to go through Q&A first?
No, it was just
Uh,
recapping what we said
yeah.
today.
Go ahead.
So first of all, go back, check your security products, learn from other people's mistakes, and refresh all the policies and train your employees to make sure that data is unwillingly or accidentally not getting leaked.
Any questions? We have around 3 minutes for questions. Yes. Do you have a mic? Oh, you need to stand. Oh, I said it. Grab the mic. I thought it would be.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So, it wasn't clear where you get the samples from. So for me, can you tell us where you get the samples from?
No.
No.
Okay.
We were, but we
Well,
got
probably get
people-
fired a day later.
Okay, I see. Thanks anyway.
Any other questions? Maybe some that we can answer? I have no idea.
No comment.
I hope he cut the video when you asked. Other questions? Great. Thank you guys. Don't forget the feedback.
Yeah.
It was great being with you.